Oh, okay. All right, we're live. I'm so nervous. No. Hi, guys.
Welcome to our guide to literary essays.
It's Mr. Remley here, along with...
I'm Miss D'Ambrosio.
Are you guys ready to learn?
As always.
We're ready to teach. So this is a guide to literary essays. We're going to show you two kind of basic concepts that will be guides to approaching and structuring your literary essays. Ready to go.
So the two types of literary-based essays are chronological and tension-based. You're going to be assigned somewhere from 2 to 4 literature-based thesis essays during your sophomore year. That's a lot. In these, you will be asked to advance an argument about a novel, memoir, play, or poem. These essays will generally follow one of two patterns of development.
So the first one is chronological. You examine a line of inquiry from beginning, middle, and end of the novel, or even short story or play. The other one is a similar line of inquiry, or chronological line of inquiry. It's called a tension-based model. It examines forces that push and pull a line of inquiry before it ends in a particular place.
Now, you might ask, what is a chronological pattern of development? In this kind of essay, you start with the beginning, the middle, and the end. Seems comprehensive enough. You're going to shift and examine the idea in the beginning or the character and how it relates to the purpose of the text. In its simplest form then, like I said, the beginning, middle, end approach to the essay would result in this arrow structure.
So here it is a little bit more fleshed out. In the beginning, you have an initial state. So we'll start with an example of Catcher in the Rye. How would you describe Holden, the main character's initial state?
So Holden starts out really lost. He's really depressed and he doesn't know what's going on. And so his initial state is very at a loss.
He's got a lot of anger. Then we go to the middle and forces start to exert. Is Holden changing? What do you think?
Holden tries to stay the same. The forces that are trying to make him change, he's opposing them. So in New York City, and all the people that he meets along the way, they're saying, grow up, do this, do that. But Holden is resisting that change.
Yeah, no one wants to grow up. And then we get to the ending state. What's happened?
Holden has, everything crashes in on him. The reality of his brother's death and that his innocence is lost forever dawns on him, and he realizes that he has to change.
Sounds like he has a bit of a fall. So, for that sort of thesis, it might look like this. Because of Holden's younger brother's death, Holden has an obsession with unchanging things, but eventually realizes that things cannot stay the same forever. And if you notice, we're following this sort of two-clause thought that we've been coaching with thesis all along. You've got a dependent clause and an independent clause. So they are running together that way. Kind of this is the thing in the book, this is the thing in my brain. On to the next.
So the other type is the tension-based pattern of development. So imagine this is a tug of war. The character or the main idea is the bandana in the middle of the rope. On either side are forces trying to pull the character or idea in a particular direction. As one force pulls, the character or idea offers the resistance. The pull grows stronger as the work continues until one force has emerged as the winner. The tension-based essay structure might take this kind of structure. So if we're looking at Lord of the Flies for this one, the beginning, Jack and Ralph are fighting for who wants to rule the island.
Right. There's even like an election. And who wins? But Ralph.
Ralph technically wins.
That's a good point. And things start to change a little bit in the middle. I feel like there's forces sort of exerted on the characters and on the boys in general. What are those forces?
So Jack offers a more enticing opportunity for the boys and the little ones. He lets them play and hunt and feeds them. And these are the forces that work against Ralph's structure and civilization in order that would lead them to rescue.
It would be more fun just to play around all day. But would you get rescued? Would you get off the island? Would you live to see next week?
Might as well die before we let the fire go out.
And then the end in a tension-based essay looks at the final outcome. So how would you describe the final outcome in Lord of the Flies?
So all of these forces work against each other to finally lead them to the result of them being rescued. But who really trumps in the end? Is it Jack or is it Ralph? And so it's your task right now to discover who.
Who and why. So a model thesis for this might look like this. Although the boys are initially in favor of Ralph's civilized order, the tempting lure of Jack's careless and playful hunters shift interest away from Ralph's control, fundamentally diminishing supportive work in interest of play. Everyone would rather play than work, but where does it leave you?
So here are some steps that you might follow to organize your essay idea. First, you want to identify what you think about the story. Don't reinvent your understanding of the text. Use your responses to literature and notes that you've taken in class from discussion. You've written everything already. Why reinvent it?
Let's hope they've written everything already. Now you're establishing a specific line of inquiry. Your teacher's going to help you with this, but it's looking into specific concepts, themes, image, symbols, metaphors, Catcher in the Rye, Allie's baseball mitt, the Ducks, and Lord of the Flies, the conch. And understanding how it changes or is perceived from beginning, middle, and end. And then we move to critical moments.
So these critical moments, catalysts for change, milestones, touchstones in the text, lead from the beginning of the story to the conclusion. So what are these moments that define the characters and shift the understanding for the reader? You're going to find these and write about it and its development throughout your essay.
And then the last piece, 4 and 5 are sort of the same thing, but arranging these milestones and determining causality. This leads to this, which leads to this. And that's why you're following, it's why it's called a chronological line of inquiry. You're following that line of inquiry. And you should always be aware if you have big breaks in the order of events. Like if in body paragraph 1, you suddenly are mentioning things that happen way at the end, you're probably out of order. However, it is good to be recursive at times. If you're discussing the ending, sometimes now if we go back and look at the beginning or the middle, we understand it in a new light. And that's okay in this model of essay. I think we got it. I hope this helps, guys. Good luck and happy writing. High five.
Cheers.
That's how you teach. Thanks, Michelle.
Okay.
Let's
Is there anything we want here?
I mean, we can
It's,
highlight a few things. And
It's